This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Thank you for listening. Here are 11 of the stories that we're following this morning, and thank you for listening. First, the markets had a great week last week and drove the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow further up for the year. I'll give you those stats in a second. Second, the NASDAQ is up almost 36% this year. The S&P 500 is up almost 18% this year. The Dow is up 4%. Those are our top four stories. The market's way up, and that's the stats on the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow, so forth, year to date. Fifth, the markets, after being down in early futures this morning, are up this morning, so that's good news as well. Sixth, great to interview Micheline Davis. Micheline is the CEO and president of National Medical Fellowships. National Medical Fellowships, their entire mission is dedicated to bring more people of color in medicine. Micheline happens to be an incredible leader. We spoke to her about the recent Supreme Court decision on affirmative action and obviously negative feedback on that from National Medical Fellowships. Seventh, Bitcoin up 83% year to date. A big story is China's economic growth, which was less than expected this last quarter, and this is having some impact on the markets this morning, though they've recovered from it some. China showed less GDP the second quarter than was expected than from a year ago. It was less than estimates of about 6% year-over-year GDP growth. The reality is nobody really trusts the Chinese numbers, the numbers from China, just because they've so debt inflated different things and torn office buildings down that weren't used and stuff like that, that so inflated GDP growth. But directionally, people believe that this is probably correct, that the numbers are worse than expected. The next story that we're following, the actors started striking, and Mission Impossible had a less great opening weekend than expected. Did fine. Tom Cruise in that series, but not nearly as good as expected, and the actors started striking. Reminds me of COVID when there was an actor strike at some point, and we'll see how this plays out. 9, Disney, which is Mission Impossible, is up 2% year to date and nearly 3.5% over the last year. Bob Iger has taken control again of Disney, and I think the jury's out on how that's going to go. You've seen this tremendous resilience from Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Benioff. Disney's not yet seeing that resilience, and the great question is, can you return growth to Disney? 10th, the 4 largest cap stocks are Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, and these are up as follows year to date. Apple up 40%, Amazon up 60%, Microsoft up 44%. The exciting news with Microsoft is them closing this Activision Blizzard deal, which should be good for them. And finally, Google Alphabet's up 42% year to date. But those are the 4 largest market cap companies by stock. Our 11th story is the 4 largest payers that are part of the top 20 companies in America by revenues. And this is United, CVS, Cigna, and Elevance. United is performing the best out of these. It's down 10% year to date, 9.34%. CVS Health is down 23.5%. Cigna is down 14.66%. And Elevance Health is down 14.5%. So those are the 4 biggest payers. Those are the 11 stories that we're following today. Again, the market's up again today. China growth down, and we'll see how everything else plays out. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity Business Podcast. What a pleasure to get to visit with you. Thank you very much.